we found this shelter. It's given us food, a home, a life. We could be the only ones left, the only ones still alive.
What is it, Dad?
Footsteps.
They're still looking for us.
They've searched here a dozen times before. They've never found us.
Did you see something?
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So here, and Fafa Ravina Ircastra, M.Pd 1911040336 will discuss about the review of the film Hidden 2015. Introduction to film Hidden 2015. Rate 3.0. Hidden is not a really horror movie as much as it is a thriller. The movie is written and directed by newcomers Matt and Rose Duffer. Before making Hidden, they only made a few short films. Those of you who follow Netflix sci-fi series titled Stranger Things, of course, will feel familiar with the name Duffer Brothers because they created Stranger Things and also directed most of the episodes. The film starred Alexander Skarsgård as Ray, Emily Ellen Line as Zoo, Andrea Riseborough as Clary, Heather Dixon as Ju Mothers, and William N. Scott as Ju. Plot: the film tells the story of a small family that had been forced into an underground shelter for 301 days after the mysterious virus spread. There are Ray, father, Clary, mother, and their only daughter named Zoo, 9 years old. The only main door in the place was the iron door in the ceiling, which had been closely caned and had not been opened since entering. Behind the door, the world had turned into a horrible place filled with mysterious monsters called breathers. The initial scan shows Zoo fantasizing that her doll can talk to her named Olive. Zoo said that Olive dreamed that the breathers would find them. This scares him. Zoo wonders how strong the door never opened. The parents allowed Zoo to check it out. The door had been fastened by a large chain and it would be very heavy to open it. As long as they live there are rules that must be obeyed. The rules exist so that breathers do not harm them. The rules contain don't be too loud, never lose control, don't open the door, and the last, never talk about breathers. Climax: while chasing a mouse trying to escape, Ray accidentally dropped a lantern and burned a wooden table in one of the rooms. When they managed to put out the fire with great difficulty, they realized a new problem. The smoke from the small fire pointed at the ceiling, which would attract breathers to come. Breathers is one of the threats, which is the reason why the three of them have been hiding all this time, because the breathers are still hunting anyone who is still alive and hiding. These predators are not like zombies that only understanding eating, but creatures that have a high level of intelligence because predators live in groups and are capable of hunting. Following action, Ray decided to come out of their hiding place to clear the smoke before it was seen by the predators. After they finished, they rushed to the room because the predators had seen and found them. Predators goes into their hideout. Ray's hand was broken and he tried to escape another door. Clary is caught and make Zoo have to hide alone. Ray tried to help his wife, but she was shot and died. Zoo, who was angry to see her mother being tortured, turned her into a monster, killed the breeders. When the situation is safe, they run to find a new hiding place and they meet their neighbor, Jew, before the virus. Then Jew takes Clary and Zoo to their hiding place and live with other residents. Explanation or plot twist. It started when the government said the village of Kingsville would be quarantined because of the deadly virus and there was no vaccine yet. However, when they were about to leave the city, they could vision from a distance that the helicopter dropped bombs on the resident settlements, making them run to find shelter. Clary was accidentally injured by the rusty iron as they scanned into the shelter and noticed that the flesh around the wound and changed color and the blood had turned black. They conclude that the virus was spreading through the air and that they had been infected. Meanwhile, breeders are human who have not been exposed to the virus. They were American soldiers wearing night vision goggles and breathing packs. Their job is to find citizens affected by the virus to research and find solutions to cure them. The hideout that you pointed out in the new Kingsville village whose residents have been exposed to the virus. My experience, my opinion about the film. The message that I get from this film is not to break the rules because if you have violate one rule, then other rules, one day you will be underestimated. This film also teaches about the warmth of the family to support and protect each other. I did really enjoy it, but I should point out one rather noticeable flaw. It was very dark and hard to see from time to time. Low lighting in the bunker from just lantern made it hard to read the facial expression. So, when you go to watch it, make sure your room is very dark. Stick with it and keep watching, even if it seems a little slow at first. I think you'll find it worth a watch, and I hope you enjoy it as much as I did. And last, the moral of this film. Learn from yesterday, live to today, and hope for tomorrow. Thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.